but just to emphasize that they have come out with some rules and regulations how an experiment should be carried out using an animal. Are there challenges still? Yes, there are challenges, there are oppositions, but we have to find the solution. Opposition will be there and solution has to be sought. Like appropriate permission from the Animal Welfare Board should be taken, maintain the highest standard of care of animals, being abreast with the current law of animals. If you know all these things, if you are doing the things very lawfully, then there is no problem. To start a setup is expensive. Employment of trained faculty in handling the animal should be there. And in India, short-term courses are run on a regular basis by national bodies like NCLAS at Hyderabad and CDR at Lucknow. Is it relevant? Are the animal instruments relevant to us for an average orthopedic surgeon? I'll say yes, because orthopedic surgeon should know the importance of animal studies. New drugs for osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, antibiotics, cancer, new implant material, fracture fixation. There are so many areas we do not know it, but they have passed through the experimentations using the animals, and then they have come to us for our well-being. So I would say thanks to the animals also, to you people also who are sitting over here at the front of the session and taking interest to a talk like this, which is non-clinical at all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. Thank you very much for your presentation. And now, on time, and now we have ethical issues of scientific publications by a person no less than Professor Anil Jain, our President-elect. Professor Jain. Professor Jain.
Sir, I'm here. Sir, I'm here.
Oh,
sir.
Thank you. Please.
Thank you very much, sir. And respected teachers and friends, first of all, I must compliment so many people sitting at 4:30, and when such a dry topic like ethical issues in scientific publication, I'll try to make it little sweeter. Well, friends, ethics is a moral system or set of principles, as by definition. Any deviation from the set of principle is a serious offense. And who does it? It's the researcher, authors, reviewer, journals, journal editors. But the most important is that it is the patient who gets the maximum hurt, the most suffering is to the patient. And why it is important to talk about ethical issues? Because in last 5 years, we are in the phase of history of medicine where there is an exponential increase in number of articles, number of journals being published, left and right, from 1 journal to 10 journal to 20 journal. Every country is coming out, every association is coming about, and practically a race is going on and for the articles and the journals. And whatever gets published, let's not take it that it is sacrosanct. So we all must understand that how to differentiate an article or how to differentiate a work which will not hurt our patient from the one which is, there is some ethical misconduct. So probably it's important that we stop for a minute, talk for a minute, and then use in our practice. Well, there are 2 types of misconduct, research misconduct and publication misconduct. I'll be just concentrating on those misconducts which are unethical behavior by authors, reviewer and editors relating to publication of research. Well, it's a publication is a final stage of research project. It should be reported honestly, because any breach, ethical breach, whether it is done by ignorance or by deliberate, it's legally, it has the same meaning. Ignorance cannot be excused. Well, and the first question is how common it is. Well, if you look at 1996 when it has been reported for the first time, gradually you see the buildings are getting taller. And this article is stated buildings till 2002, but I'm sure in 2013 they are further tall. And this is the recent publication in the New York Times, which says that lots of alarming increase in the number of retraction of scientific paper, more than 300 a year. And out of this 2,047 retracted paper, 75% were retracted because of misconduct. So this is an alarming. Now out of the total percentage of submission, how many have some misconduct? It's almost, we are about to touch 1%. Well, there are various kind of misconducts, and there is a committee on publication ethics, international committee, which has listed first 28 cases, and you could see almost 12 or 13 category of ethical misconduct. Well, there are three category of scientific misconduct. One misconduct is the one which distorts the scientific knowledge. It means what this art is a falsification or fabrication of data, a data which has been modified to suit someone, or a data which does not exist being fabricated. Now these type of scientific misconduct, they are risky to the society because they distort the scientific knowledge, and hence a wrong treatment and wrong line of progress will go in as for the patients, and by the time you detect it, lot many patients will be hurt. Now misconduct that misleads the scientific community, they are unjustified authorship, plagiarism, duplicate publication, deliberate false evaluation of a project or result. And the last is were questionable research practices, because with these kind of research practices, they undergo a question mark. So division of results to increase the publication number, small work is being done and you are slicing it, making multiple papers, and that's how to increase your biodata, but then in the end, people start doubting the overall credibility of research practices. Well, first is authorship dispute. Well, this misconduct is when this authorship is unethical. And this dispute arises because there may be opinion difference whether contribution is substantial to become an author. Well, one is a gift authorship where you give to your senior or your colleague or your wife, or a ghost authorship when there is no author exists, a professional person writing a manuscript and giving, so that is acting as a ghost author. But ICMJE guidelines are very clear that anyone who has a substantial contribution to the conception, design or acquisition of data, or analysis and interpretation of data, or who has drafted the article, revised it critically for intellectual content, or out of both the two with the final approval of version, then these are the criteria to become an author. Supplying a reagent, providing you a space, providing you a patient, providing you an X-rays, technical work in the laboratory, or maybe head of the institution or head of the department or senior, that does not entitle for authorship. Well, the best authorship dispute can be avoided if you discuss the authorship when research is planned. However, one must decide authorship before article is started, when you have started writing the article. Now the other one is the one which distorts the scientific material, is an overlapping publication where there is a duplicate submission or a duplicate publication, or a competing manuscript where there is same study, same database, and you have made two manuscripts, or a sibling publications. Now duplicate submissions, when one author submits the one article to more than one journal, that is duplicate submission, and that is not accepted because this unnecessarily duplicates the peer review and editing. However, sometimes it is acceptable if both editors believe that it best interest of the public health, provided the author has disclosed to the both editors that I am submitting it two places, but this work is of a best interest of public health, or maybe in different language, and hence it is appropriate. At that time, it's mentioned in below the article that this article has also been published, is submitted for that journal, or was under consideration for that journal, or published for that other journal as well. Because then you know that these are not two articles, these are one article, so they will not distort the literature. Now duplicate publication is a publication of paper that has a similar hypothesis, sample characteristic, methodology, result and conclusion of a published article. Article is already published, you submit it again. Done to increase the number of publication. Again, this all the same phenomena, because these are kind of things, they overlap an already published article, and they put waste of time on peer reviews, editor, and distort the academic reward system. Besides, it is an infringement to the copyright. Once you submit an article, you give a copyright that this article has not been submitted or published anywhere else. And because this inflates the scientific literature for no benefit other than to the author. Now, how widespread is the problem? Pretty common. I think IGO itself is detecting almost 25 duplicate submission or at least every year, and this is more or less coming out from the developing world. Now, redundant publication, if an editor finds out that there is a duplicate submission or duplicate publication, then prompt rejection of article is done. If redundant paper is already published, then article is withdrawn, notice is served, published on the information is sent on the PubMed, corrigendum in next issues, advise other editor and publisher also for copyright violation, and inform employer and institution of an author. And I'm sure there are cases on record where from 1 or 2 cases from US and UK where the person has been removed from the job. Now, acceptable secondary publication, as I said, when there are guidelines, when the two journals are of different language, or article is of a commemorative nature. In that case, there is a clear declaration that this article is published in 2 places. Now, again, competing manuscripts where manuscript based on the same studies, 2 paper, same studies. Or, so the best is that there is a disagreement among the authors that this method or this analysis, they have a disagreement. But in that case, the best way is that you publish, submit that article and give a commentary on the same data below it, or mentioning that how this all has to be by the different analysis or different thing, this analysis has come and this is the opinion of one of the group of author. So that article with the commentary. Or if there is a disagreement on the method or result, then better is that first resolve this dispute, then submit it for submission. Manuscript based on the same data set, publication may be justified if different analytic approach is used, then it is justified because the analysis is different. Now, there are sibling manuscript is just like related paper submitted to different journal, no cross citation. So this all is inflating the literature. So good publication practice is to provide full disclosure, full citation, full discussion of author's related work in the manuscript. That is why world will know that this particular article has now been again published because of this reason, this was the difference. So if you give a full disclosure, then it's fine. But how does it matter? Because publication bias distorts the literature. Because evidence-based medicine relies on meta-analysis, systematic analysis. So in the pool of article where there is a meta-analysis and systematic review is going on, you will have 2 or few or more articles which have the same database, same observation, so it inflates the data. And finding of meta-analysis can be skewed by duplicate data. Again, as I said, falsification and fabrication, this is a criminal act because it wastes on the time of work on which hypothesis, because if that article is published which is based on fabricated data, some other author in the world after reading can start the same work. So this kind of, it harms the patient most, and that is why it's a disastrous and criminal act. And this is more common in a pharmaceutical industry where a drug comes, there are some green good effects, blue bad effects. So what good effects being published, bad effects not being mentioned in the article, and that's why the drug comes into the market, comes into use, and then later on it is detected, and that's what this is more common with the pharma industry. So friends, over publication, under publication can give rise to misleading conclusion from meta-analysis, and that harms the patient. The last is a plagiarism, where plagiarism is defined as copy from someone else's work and use them as if they are your own work. It ranges from unreferenced use of others' published lines or published unpublished ideas or submission of somebody else's article under new authorship of a complete paper. Now this is the very interesting example which I think some of you must have seen from IGO. This article was submitted, and when we read this article, we found another article in JBJS around the same time. And if you look at these lines, they are exactly the same. Look at this analysis. This is just what he has done. The conclusion is the same, 18.7% and 5.8%. However, what he has done, he has increased the number of gloves. So the percentage remains the same, and accordingly, he calculated the number of gloves. So how do editors get it? They sometimes get an intuition, but if you read an article which is perfectly submitted, then it means there must be something wrong. Because I published so much, only once I remember when my article was published as it is. It always had a lot of language related issues. And then nowadays journals search for literature, and they have now software where they can find out what has been taken from which article. Now whether it is intentional or inadvertent, principal author is responsible, and you have to take the responsibility. So friends, this all misconduct can be better prevented by educating and about the publication guidelines and ethics, introduction of registers for planned and ongoing clinical trial, now that's been implemented in India, and change criteria from quantity of publication to quality of publications when you assess for the post or grants or any other promotions. And similarly, editors, reviewers, they also do a lot of misconduct that And the most common cause when the reviewers do not communicate their conflict of interest. So they have to declare their conflict of interest so to avoid a misconduct. Similarly, from the international literature, this editor has published 63 articles on already published articles. So friends, the thing that will destroy us are politics without principle, pleasure without conscience, wealth without work, knowledge without character, business without morality, science without humanity, and worship without sacrifice. Thank you very much indeed for patient hearing.
Thank you, Professor Jain.
Thank you, Professor Jain. Thank you very much. Well, any questions to any, I would request all the speakers to be please on the stage.
No question.
No question. If there is no question, then I may be permitted to use a minute to round up the session.
No, that is one question, not question, but reply from the audience, because the discourse you don't give, number one. What Saraf told, Babu and Jain is good, everything. The Chinese philosopher told, to read so much, don't arrive at a conclusion, or do so much work, don't arrive at a conclusion. It's just like to climb a tree to catch a fish. But those who have contributed to the medical science, orthopedic science, many are non-medical people. They have done days of hard labor, 365 days in a work. The heights reached by them are not attained by sudden flight. When their companions slept, they toil awkward night for uplifting the surgery, your orthopedic surgery. Today you see MRI came 2003, CT scan came 1973, X-ray came 1895. They are all non-orthopedic people.
Thank you.
Contribution, we must pay respect to them on this occasion.
Thank you.
Number three, animals are our best friends. Don't criticize, don't react. That's why we go for animals. Although rat has a no gallbladder, cat has a double gallbladder, still you respect them.
Thank you very much.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes, question please.
My question to Dr. Jain. Suppose someone is caught of copying the paper, then what happens to him? He is debarred from writing a paper, or what happens? That would
The last question here.
warning will be given.
Actually, same question I was going to ask.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Whenever editor finds a misconduct,
Lights please.
suppose what you talked about is a plagiarism. So we generally send those lines and lines being taken from where and what, all those kind of thing. If it is not a data related, we give an author a chance to respond to it. However, if there is a just copying some article lines, then they generally add reference and cite that article. However, if the whole idea and then whole data and whole paper, then it's all summarily rejected immediately. And journals generally they are not policemen, they can't punish, they are not court. So they just can reject it and then they communicate to the employer and they can communicate to the other journals that look here, this has happened with this person. Now we have suggested to the COAP that they must create a website where we can place such errant behavior on the site so that other journal, when they find such misconduct, they can check.
Thank you.
Is it the same person?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you permit me, I'd like to round up.
So one question, please, sir.
One question.
Question, that should be the last one, please.
My question to Parag. Sir, what do you do in meta-analysis of a work?
Yeah, that's a good question. Meta-analysis is when, there is one particular question and you involve various institutions, organizations, hospitals to answer it. This can be done across a city, across a state, or across countries. We have now actually been doing meta-analysis in various studies associated with the McMaster University. The idea behind doing a meta-analysis is that even though there may be a bias by one particular center, you cannot really influence the other centers. And whatever the data comes out of a meta-analysis usually is taken as a level 1 kind of an evidence and is supposed to be the best. So
Thank
that
you.
is the importance of
Yes, the
meta-analysis.
last question, please.
And one quick comment, sir, about what action was taken. There was one person in Maharashtra who was found with plagiarism, and then he was debarred from that particular association for a period of 5 years. So that was
Thank you.
the action they took.
My question is to Dr. Jain. Professor Jain, sir, for example, the example that you showed about the gloves, that was, he had just picked it up from another journal and published it. But for example, if I see the idea to be very fair and would like to compare it in Indian scenario, for example, the kind of OT behavior or OT habits we have compared to the Western people, or for that matter, let's say back pain in white-collared jobs. So the pattern that is there in the foreign countries compared to the India. So will you consider that to be an issue with regard to palliatism?
Short answer.
Research question can be the same. However, if you have a different sets of data done in a different time period with your own specific analysis, then that's not a plagiarism.
Well, thank you very much. Now, I would like to round up. Well, research is something what we do not know. If we knew what we are doing, it is not research. And I am thankful to the organizers, they have kept this subject. Regarding the literature and publications, we take the literature as Bible and Gita. Sir, it is quoted there. Sir, it is quoted there. A person no less than Professor Carr from America has written in the Journal of Bone Joint Surgery an article which says which research is to be believed. Millions of dollars have been spent without any useful outcome. So it's a global phenomena. Dishonesty in research is a global phenomena, and unless and until, friends, we are honest as we are to ourselves, we can forget about the research and academics. Remember that vitamin M is a very powerful vitamin. It will not allow anybody to come forwards except a few. You can screen your own country. How many states in the country are there who are doing real need-based research? It is unfortunate. We have brains. Brains cannot be bought. They have to be found. We have brains. But unfortunately, those brains are working in some different directions. Not selfless, selfish. So we have to be honest first, and the research has to be need-based in our country. Not that what the literature says he or she is following something. We have to use our mind, which we have excellent brains amongst us. There is no doubt about it. But give a different direction to that we do a need-based research in the interest of our patients. Duplication of publication is coming up since long, and these people should be debarred completely from all aspects. Morality. Morality is the last one which I wanted to say. If we are not moral in our acts, we cannot leave behind any legacy which the young people sitting at the back benches would like to expect from us, that we leave behind a legacy which will go, because last I will quote, we are standing on the shoulders of the giants who have lifted up that we are looking so tall. And ladies and gentlemen, if we are not tall, the next generation will be pygmies and they will never excuse us. Thank you very much for allowing us to chair this session. Please take this.
अगर नहीं है तो मैं ले आता हूँ। ले आओ दो चार। Now it is my duty to give the vote of thanks. Like I told, I had kept the best for the last. So I hope you enjoyed the research session. I thank all the delegates from my committee and association. Without the delegates, it would not have been so successful. Who are still glued to the chair. I thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed the academic feast. And I thank all our delegates, all our faculty whom I have written so many letters and Bombardier, you prepare in time. So without them it would not have been successful. I thank them and maybe we'll have a better association next time. And in the end I thank all our peers and seniors who have seated here and given us good contribution in suggestions, and without their help it would not have been possible. So I thank them. And last but not the least, Dr. Arun Kapoor and Dr. Sanjay Chaturvedi and the whole team who has been always eager to help me and sort out the problems. One thing I'll tell in the end, please give some suggestion, fill up the suggestion form so that we can make a better CME than this in next time, and that will be more successful. Thank you.